in Anambra State. Health sector in Anambra State receives support from Italian specialists. President Tinubu swears in George Akume as secretary to the government. Thousands of Ukrainians flee Kherson. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good evening and welcome to the news. My name is Uchechukwu Ibonam. Anambra State Commissioner for Women and Social Welfare, Honorable Ifeobi Nabo, has interacted with representatives of the African Women Entrepreneurship Program Nigeria, AWIP, in our office in Oka. The team, led by its project lead, AWIP Act Power Project, Mrs. Amede Achingel, noted that the purpose of the interface was to train 300 women and youth in the state to be independent and gainfully engaged in agriculture, digital social media marketing, animal husbandry, among others. Mrs. Achingel, who also stated that the program covers Southeast and South-South geopolitical zones, explained that they will adopt the train-the-trainers model in all the local government areas of the state in order to benefit a large number of women and youths. Responding, Honorable Obinabo appreciated the team for its timely visit and assured them of the state's readiness to ensuring that the project is a success. She assured them of our readiness to ensure that the vulnerable women and youths who really need the training are the main beneficiaries. The training, which will begin in earnest, will last for 2 days with trainees drawn from the 179 communities in the state. Anambra State government has directed all those whose property and shops lie within the areas mapped out for a Ekwulobia flyover to begin to dismantle and evacuate same. A release signed by the Commissioner for Information, Sir Paul Ngosu, disclosed that actual construction work will commence in earnest. To that effect, the evacuation has become necessary to give way for the all-important flyover project as agreed in a recent stakeholders meeting. Environmental health and medical specialists from Italy have assured their readiness to partner Anambra State government in repositioning the health sector and bring solution to ailments confronting people in the parts of the world, especially as it concerns cancer and conversion of waste to wealth. The team made this known when they paid a courtesy visit to the managing director of the Anambra Broadcasting Service, ABS, Sachido Ubidego, in his office in Oka. Correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo tells us more.
Speaking, the leader of the team, architect Manlio Amatu, who spoke through Professor Stefano Valabrega, explained that they are prepared to contribute in the improvement of the health sector of the state if the state government will consent to their proposal, saying that they will swing into action once the government indicates interest in the partnership. He also revealed their plan on establishing a cancer center in Anambra State to tackle cancer-related issues in Nigeria and save people from cancer-related death, just as the issue of environmental pollution will be put on check. The group, who are also specialists in broadcasting, also promised to assist in upgrading Anambra Broadcasting Service (ABS) if the partnership with the state government comes on stream.
20 demand and have the full cure, so your patient don't go to Abuja or London. Or
on his part, the managing director of Oka Capital Territory Development Authority, Mr. Osi Onuko, told the group that the state government is happy to welcome them in the state, describing their mission as one that is in line with the administration of Governor Chukwuma Soludo's vision for the state and will change the fortunes of the state health-wise. Responding, the managing director of ABS, Sachido, commended the group for the initiative and assured them that the present administration will partner groups that mean well for the state. Sachido also appealed to them to partner ABS for all-round transformation of the broadcast station.
We must have to find, areas of partnership. Of course. Yes. Because I believe that with your word of experience, we will have so much to benefit. We want this partnership to extend to broadcasting.
The team were later conducted round the ABS Cooperative Headquarters in Oka by the ABS Managing Director, Sachido, in company of the Director News and Current Affairs Department of the station, Mr. Gabe Opaleze, among others.
The Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ, and Anambra State Council has commended Professor Chukwuma Soludo-led government for embarking on massive road construction and rehabilitation across the state. The council gave the commendation in a communique issued at the end of its June edition of the monthly Congress held at the Godwin Eziemo International Press Center, Oka. The communique signed by the chairman of the council, Comrade Odogwu Emeko Odogwu, and the secretary, Comrade Aloysius Ofodile, noted that the importance of good road network cannot be overemphasized and urged the government to continue. The Congress, while appealing to government to make available subsidized government vehicles that will convey workers to and from work to cushion the effects of the hike in fuel pump price, appealed to people of the state to imbibe the spirit of cleanliness and endeavor to keep the environment clean by desisting from indiscriminate dumping of refuse on the waterways at undesignated places. The Congress urged the Department of Petroleum Resources (DPR) officials to please look into the unbearable fuel pump price hike by fuel station owners in Anambra State and do the needful. According to the communique, the Congress urged the Federal Road Safety Corps (FRSC) to intensify efforts towards educating road users to ensure that road crashes are reduced to the barest minimum aside apprehending defaulters, while advising its members to be security cautious and make safety the watchword. The Congress appreciated efforts of the security agents in addressing the issue of insecurity bedeviling the state and enjoined them not to rest on their oars. Flood from recent rains in Onitsha and environs has battered the drainage channel along Asaba-Onitsha Highway by Obaru Relief Main Market, destroying the culvert that led into the market through the second gate. The havoc was so extensive that even the pedestrian bridge across the express is under threat. When ABS arrived at the scene, it observed that the concrete slab has totally collapsed while the earth crust surrounding the gutters has been washed away. Commenting on development, the president of Obaru Relief Main Market, Chief Ndubisi Ochoko, recalled that the erosion began in 2022, adding that when they noticed one portion of the drainage was collapsing, they informed the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FAMA, and the state government. Chief Ochoko said the traders on their own did some palliative works to reduce further devastation of the erosion. Still to come in the news tonight, President Tinubu swears in George Akume as secretary to the government. Thousands of Ukrainians flee Kherson. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total around maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. The news returns immediately after the short break. Welcome back to the rest of the news. From the federal scenes, President Bola Tinubu has sworn in Senator George Akume as the new secretary to the government of the Federation, SGF. Akume was sworn in at the presidential villa Abuja on Wednesday. The former Minister of Interior took his oath of allegiance and oath of office at about 11:08 a.m. in the council chambers of the presidential villa. The event was witnessed by some serving and former governors, Vice President Kashim Shettima and Senate President Ahmed Lawan. Others are Kwara State Governor Abdul Rahman Abdul Razak, Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Dr. Folashade Yemi-Ason, and the wife of the new SGF, Mrs. Regina Akume. Anambra State Government, in collaboration with Anambra State's Waste Recyclers Association, ASRA, has set a 1 million naira prize money for winners of the All Anambra Plastic Waste Recovery Challenge scheduled to kick off on June 8, 2023. The State Commissioner for Environment, Engineer Felix Odumegu, who unveiled plans for the challenge in Oka, noted that it is part of arrangements to commemorate this year's World Environment Day. ABS Environment Correspondent Blessing Uchendo tells us more.
could disclose that the challenge fixed for June 8 to July 7, 2023 is a holistic action to mitigate plastic pollution. He also announced that the plastic recovery challenge would be carried out at community levels within the 179 communities in the 21 local government areas of the state, while ensuring even spread of opportunity for participating communities. Engineer Odumegwu noted that 179 communities have been grouped into 3 categories of urban, semi-urban and rural, with winner from each category going home with the sum of 1 million naira. Explaining further, the commissioner stressed that each of the 179 communities will have 1 month to pick up plastic waste around their area, while the communities that collected the largest number of plastics will go home with the prize money. Engineer Odumegwu, who noted that plastic pollution has become one of the most pressing environmental problems in the world, said that the theme of the 2023 World Environment Day, which focuses on the solution to plastic pollution globally, raises awareness on what everyone must do to mitigate the problem. He concluded that to achieve a plastic-free Anambra State, all residents must practice the 5 R in waste management and principles of circular economy, which are refuse, reduce, reuse, repurpose, and recycle, as they target to get rid of 10,000 tons of plastic stuck in the streets, homes, drainages, and waterways.
The World Environment Day is an international day for creating environmental awareness and sensitization. Plastic pollution has become one of the most pressing environmental issues as the rapidly increasing production of plastic products overwhelm the world's ability to deal with the waste it produces. Plastic pollution has progressed into a crisis not just in Anambra State, but globally, which requires both immediate and sustained attention and action.
Right, moving on to other stories. Flood from recent rains in Onitsha and environs has battered the drainage channel along Asaba-Onitsha Highway by Owaru Relief Main Market, destroying the culvert that led into the market through the second gate. The havoc was so extensive that even the pedestrian bridge across the express is under threat. When ABS arrived at the scene, it observed that the concrete slab has totally collapsed, while the earth crust surrounding the gutters has been washed away. Commenting on the development, the president of Owaru Relief Main Market, Chief Ndubisi Ochogo, recalled that the erosion began in 2022, adding that when they noticed one portion of the drainage was collapsing, they informed the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA, and the state government. Chief Ochogo said that traders on their own did some palliative works to reduce further devastation of the erosion. We have details.
He disclosed that more than 1,000 bags of sand slabs have been provided to heap at the collapsed portion of the Sakamori as their only two-way to control the erosion until Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA, and state government could come to their rescue. Mr. Ochogo further lamented that traders have spent a lot of money in order to control the effects of the flooding at the area, but all their efforts proved abortive, as more than 50 shops have already been engulfed.
All government can I bossy. When I take one don't know why you know able.
Contributing, one of the market patrons and appointed supervisor of work on the Sakamori, Mr. Anthony Achosi, affirmed that the leadership of the market had written letters to FEMA, state government and others, saying that they promised to come to fix the Sakamori, but since then, none of them have been cited. Similarly, the Assistant Secretary of the Market, Mr. Bukno Agu, described the erosion caused by the collapsed Sakamori as alarming, pointing out that the President General of the Market, Mr. Ndubisi Ochogo, have been trying to surmount the challenges, but the menace of the erosion emanating from Sakamori is beyond what traders could attend to. He said that the level of work done at the Sakamori has engulfed all the resources of the market, saying that what the traders are even interested in is the lasting solution to avoid further escalation of the erosion. Some of the affected traders who spoke and appealed to the relevant authorities to assist them include Mr. Okechukwu Azigba, Mr. Uzoma Obufo, and Mrs. Christiana Onovo. They all appealed for quick intervention. They poured accolades on Mr. Ochogo for his relentless effort and his financial commitments to ensure that the portion of Sakamori is fixed once and for all.
Blocks so I onye kwara ka anyị wenyekwa aka akpọ ndị crane ebupụsịa ya so ya ka na-arịọkwa na-akpọkwa na-asịkwa ukwuchie ike na ọrụ abụrụ obere ọrụ ka ọ dịkwara ndị gọọmenti ka abịa ka eti aka na this na-adịgo more worse than a lot before.
From the foreign scenes, thousands of Ukrainians are fleeing the city of Kherson, as well as towns and villages downstream of Kakhovka Dam, trying desperately to get ahead of rising flood waters. A scrambled evacuation by boat and military truck from a Kherson Island neighborhood on Tuesday testified to the latest human chaos caused by Russian war in Ukraine. Ukrainian authorities accused Russian forces of purposely destroying the dam. Russian authorities blamed recent Ukrainian military strikes. As shells from Russia's war in Ukraine echoed overhead, thousands of evacuees on an island in the Dnieper River secured into the tops of military trucks or into rafts to flee rising flood waters caused by a dam breach upstream. Nobody knew just how high the waters rushing through a Kherson hole in the Kakhovka Dam would rise, or whether people or pets could escape alive. From the world of sports, Fulham defender Tosin Adarabioyo is drawing interest from League One clubs Monaco and Stade Rennais. According to reports, the two clubs have opened talks with Fulham to sign the player. Fulham were looking to sell the centre-back for between 10 to 15 euros. A number of Premier League clubs are also said to be interested in Tosin. The Nigerian-born defender has a year remaining on his contract to the Whites. Tosin made 25 league appearances for Fulham in the 2022-2023 season. He arrived at the Craven Cottage from Manchester City 2 years ago. Before we round up the news tonight, remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS TV from any parts of the world by liking our Facebook page at Anambra Broadcasting Service. Go on to subscribe to our YouTube channel at ABS Television Oka. On Twitter at ABS Radio TV and also on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. Log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And now the main points that made the news again tonight. Entrepreneurship program to empower women and youths holds in Anambra State. Health sector in Anambra State has received support from Italian specialists. President Tinubu has sworn in George Akume as secretary to the government. And finally, we told you from the foreign scenes that thousands of Ukrainians have fled Kherson. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. That's all in the news tonight. My name is Uchechukwu Ibonam. Thank you so much for being with us. Good night.